All right, YouTube fam, we're about to get into it. So today we're gonna get into exactly why being jacked is super rare. It's just very, very rare, to be honest. I know I keep talking about this, but at the end of the day, every single day that I go to sleep, there's the same amount of jacked guys or less, right? As the time goes on, more and more people are becoming obese, more and more people are becoming out of shape. So being jacked is super rare. So if you get to that level where you're jacked, it's super rare. But let me get into exactly why being jacked is so rare and is so hard to achieve for a lot of people. It's just because of the societal pressures, the environment, literally being consistent, being disciplined. It's so easy when you're motivated and everything's going right to execute. It's harder to execute when things are getting difficult, right? When you just got in a car accident, when you just broke up with your girl, when you had a bad day at work, it's harder to execute on those days, right? And we have such solidified bad habits, and we have such a bad mindset regarding, weight loss, fat loss, muscle gaining, that we don't make it, right? We don't make it. And a lot of people go closer to victim mindset than they do, taking control of their life. And that's another issue. A lot of people with that victim mindset, they're like, yeah, well, my genetics suck, this sucks, blah, 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 blah. You're never gonna get to your goals thinking you're a victim, right? Because if you think you're a victim, that means you don't think you have control of any of your situation, and you don't have control of what's gonna happen to you in the future. Victim mindset means you don't think you have control of what happens to you in the future and the present, all right? You have no control over your life. Now, when you don't have that victim mindset, you realize that you do have control of your life. So what happens? You start to execute, you start to do things, you start to show up day in and day out, all right? Every time you see a jacked person, you're impressed. How many times when you're younger, you're like, oh, wow, he has muscle? How many times when you're in the gym first starting off, did you go up to a jacked guy and ask for their advice, right? Because it's super rare. If being jacked was common, you would not ask jacked dudes for advice. None of these body game videos would be getting any views. You'd be like, duh, everyone has body game. It's easy, right? And a lot of people would just, obviously if everyone is fit, it wouldn't be as unique and as different, but most people are not jacked, guys. It's super fucking rare. I know you see it all the time on social media. It is not like that in real life. Go out in your town. A lot of you guys spend a lot of time on social media like, well, everyone's jacked. It's not that hard. And then you don't realize that if you look in the mirror, you'll see, a fucking marshmallow, all right? You're not in shape yourself, but you're so focused on looking at people on social media and looking at the same 100 people, and you're like, well, everyone's jacked. And you go outside and touch grass and you realize, oh, everyone's really out of shape. Everyone's really struggling with fitness, all right? Now, another thing about being, jacked is that means you got to a level where you were disciplined enough to, even though your emotions were like, please, man, just give me some crumble cooking pizza. I'm telling you, please, bro. That means even though your emotions were saying that, you're like, no, I have a goal that's bigger than that. And you maintained that discipline and got to that goal. That is fucking rare. A lot of people don't do that. As soon as people get one craving, one hunger pain, they abandon ship and they're like, holy shit, man. Hell no, I'm not doing this shit anymore, right? A lot of people always go halfway in because they want to leave the door open and go back to the old habits what they're comfortable with, right? People don't like being uncomfortable. They just don't. They don't. And when people say it's literally super rare to be lean, you know how to be lean, guys? All you have to do is lift weights consistently and eat high protein. It's not genetic, all right? You have to eat high protein and lift weights consistently. Every day you have a chance to do that shit. But people are not willing to look at that long term, or they're not willing to give it the patience that it requires, right? They're not willing to do it day in and day out. They're just like, you know what? I'll do it for a few days here and we'll see what happens. If I get some results in a few days, I'll keep going. And that's not how it works. They're not willing to delay gratification. In today's society, we have a lot of instant gratification fucking everywhere, yo. We got DoorDash. We got DoorDash, Amazon Prime that says it's coming in 3 days. It comes in 1 day. We got fucking everything at our fingertips on the PS5. You don't even have to go to GameStop to get a video game anymore. You used to have to go to GameStop and try to haggle, and they used to, try to turn in the game, and they'll be like, even though you bought that for $60 yesterday, it's now worth 13 cents. And then you have to buy a new game, and then you have to take it to your, you have to take it home, and then you have to put it in the PS2 or the PS3. Like now it's just like you just download that shit, right? And it's like, oh, you used to have to go and make food downstairs, or maybe go to the restaurant, wait in line. Now it's just like DoorDash. Uber Eats, everything's quick. Just be like, you know what, let me go get my groceries, Walmart delivery now. So it's made us really fucking lazy. And yes, there are benefits to using like Walmart delivery if you're super busy, but a lot of people have become so lazy that they're sedentary, which is obviously the opposite of what you need to be if you're trying to get jacked, and they just don't hit the gym, right? And they're seeing all these things on social media where people are taking steroids, and they're like, oh, they're getting results in 3 months taking steroids. Maybe I could take steroids. And we do have a lot of kids now taking steroids as well and still looking natural, which is fucking crazy, right? But in general, the biggest reason that people aren't jacked is literally because they seriously, and I mean seriously, lack that ability to delay gratification and to be uncomfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable when you have those hunger pangs at night. It's just gonna happen, right? When you start to get leaner, people are gonna come up to you and be like, damn, bro, you looking lean, you looking crazy. You're gonna feel like absolute shit when you're first getting adjusted to it. You're gonna be like, fuck. But then once your body gets adjusted to it, you're like, okay, I'm locked in. But a lot of people, once they feel that little bit of discomfort, that hunger pang, they miss 30 minutes of sleep, right? They want to eat an Oreo, they want to go through a drive-through, they just do it. And they abandon ship, all right? They don't have that discipline, they don't have that desire, they don't have that dedication that it takes to really get to the next level, all right? Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, it doesn't matter, body gain. Like, I get this shit all the time, like, oh, it's genetic and, you know, it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. Like, anyone can get jacked. Then why the fuck aren't you jacked? Why are you out of shape? Oh, because I didn't dedicate, because you don't have the consistency, the discipline to be dedicated, right? I just gave you the formula, but you can't execute the formula because you think that in order to execute the formula, you just have to, you know, start the formula for one day and it happens. In reality, you have to become the person that can not only execute the formula, but maintain that formula. And people aren't willing to become that person. The journey molds you into that person, all right? It's literally as you're carving your body, going from like fat to fit or skinny to lean, right, and muscular, as you're carving your body, you are literally carving out the bad habits and adding good habits. Like, you are becoming the person you need to be. You're morphing into the person you need to be, right? Because obviously, life never gets easier, you just get stronger. That's how it works. People think life is gonna get easier or the situation will be perfect when it's time to get lean, but no, it's what you prioritize. A lot of people cannot also take that self-accountability. It's super hard to take that self-accountability, be honest. You have to, in order to get to your goals, and everyone who's gotten to their goals has done this, you have to realize you are the reason you're not at your goals, right? The good thing about that is once you realize that shit, you're like, okay, that means that I can get to my goals if I change what I'm doing on a daily basis. Because eating the candy, eating the fast food is taking me to this place. I don't want to be here. So if I replace those with healthier foods, I'll get to the place I want to be. You see what I'm saying? So once you realize that, it's going to help you a lot. But a lot of people aren't willing to look inward. They like to blame outward. They like to project outward 24/7. All right. And best believe, guys, when you guys do start practicing body game, I know a lot of you guys are on your journey, you will get hate. It's normal. Just get used to that shit. Even when you're in the beginning stages, because people hate to see that your trajectory is about to be higher than theirs. People know the power of consistency. And when they see you locked in for about a week, they're like, fuck, if he continues this for 3 months, he's going to be lean. He's going to feel better. He's going to be more confident than me. So people like for you to be in the same level, right? People like misery loves company, basically, right? And yeah, and a lot of people like to make excuses as to why they can't, obviously, why they can't reach their goals. I found it very, very interesting. I've been getting on a lot of calls with younger guys, like Zoom calls and stuff like that. I found it very interesting, the creativity that people have when it comes to excuses. I'm like, damn, like you keep trying to find reasons why you can't do it. If you just found reasons why you can do it, you'd be good. But they find these insane reasons why they can't do it, and it doesn't make any sense. And they don't believe that shit. So I'm just like, listen, you're not ready to lock in. You're obviously your worst enemy. None of the excuses you make are legit at all. Because they'll be like, yeah, man, so, you know, back in the day, I used to work 80 hours, but I cut it down to 60 so I could start working out. I was like, okay, so have you started working out? Nah. Well, if you can work 80 hours and you need, you know, and now you're working 60, that means you freed up 20 hours, right? And you only need about 4 to 5 hours to hit the gym every single week, and then another hour to meal prep, hour or two to meal prep. So why not use that time? They're like, oh, I don't know. They're just not, they don't have the desire, right? They don't have the desire. It's like, it's not that fucking hard. They're just fucking lazy. Like, are you serious? Like, bare minimum. I always tell you guys the bare minimum. If you do these things, yes, you're going to get results. Yes, you're going to be rare. Yes, you're going to be lean and jacked. High protein nutrition, right? So if you're overweight, heavier set, start lifting weights 4 to 5 times a week. High protein calorie deficit, all right? Drink water and sleep 6 to 8 hours, right? Simple. You do that shit and you're just going to be losing fat, losing fat, losing fat. And then you're going to see how muscular your physique is, and it's going to be less fat. And then you're probably going to get rid of the face fat. And then you're going to be more attractive to women, and you're going to look, you know, more confident as well, because your posture is going to be better because you won't have all that stomach fat and that titty, right? If you're a skinny dude or skinny fat, go on a lean bulk, high protein nutrition, strength train, sleep, drink water. You're going to get there. But people won't do the fucking bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. How hard is it to do that shit? And you guys make all these excuses. You don't understand my situation. I understand that you're 100 fucking pounds overweight and you lack time. You are eating that much fucking food with the lack of time. That means you can definitely eat in the deficit if you can eat that much fucking food in the, you know, in the lack of time. All right, that shit's dumb as hell. Like, you lack time, but you're at the drive-thru waiting 30 minutes because you really want this new fucking Whopper or whatever the hell they have, right? So no, you don't lack time. You just do not prioritize what you need to prioritize. No matter what you're going through in life, right? You can always control what you consume. all right? If you do not have the time to go to the gym for real, and you can only get a 30-minute workout in, then do some burpees, some push-ups, some squats, and eat clean, right? Eat lean, eat in a high protein calorie deficit, and you're gonna lose fat. It's gonna happen. Like, you guys act like gym is the biggest part of it. Gym is like, yeah, 10 to 20%. So it's like, I can't make it to the gym. Okay, so you can't make it to the gym, so you're just making it worse by eating Skittles. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're drinking soda? Change what you're consuming, because you can control that shit. You guys always say, oh, I can't control it. Yes, you can. You control it. Nobody puts a gun to your head and gives you unhealthy shit. You put that in your own body. And before someone says, well, you don't understand, eating unhealthy, it's a little bit cheaper. First of all, the only reason it's cheaper is because you don't know what the fuck healthy food is, right? You go to the store and you're trying to get grass-fed duck leg. That's like $1,000. No one's getting that shit. Or you go to Whole Foods, go to Walmart, go to Aldi's, get the tuna, get the protein, get all that shit, right? And just start losing fat, losing fat. Eating a calorie deficit, start losing fat, all right? If you think eating Skittles and eating all that bullshit and eating those fried food burgers and the burger and fries with the soda, if you think that's cheap, well, guess what? In the long run, not even the long run, in a couple of years, 10 years, right? Maybe 20 years, you're gonna have type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, all that, right? And now your quality of life is gonna go down. Now you're gonna be taking medications and your copay might not cover all the medications. And then if you continue with that, then you're gonna be going to dialysis, right? And that's gonna lower your lifespan, lower your quality of life, all right? So a lot of you guys are too reactive and not proactive enough. It is fucking rare to be lean, guys. If you are locked in on your journey, this is your sign to stay locked in, man, because you're gonna separate yourself. I know a lot of people were asking me questions like, oh, how's your results on dating apps and shit like that. I really don't care about that shit, but because I'm leaner, obviously they're gonna be better than someone who's out of shape. It just is what it is. That's the first glance. You treat people without knowing it. You treat fit people better than you treat out of shape people without knowing it. That's just human nature, all right?